In Houston, the Cougars are planning an H-Town takeover, and their leader is undoubtedly the dual-threat quarterback, Greg Ward Jr. The offense has the Cougars undefeated, but tonight they welcome in-state rival SMU for a key American Athletic Conference showdown. It's a busy sports night in Houston, but the Cougar fans are fired up for American Athletic Conference football. Welcome to the American Athletic Conference on ESPN. Tonight, from TD-ECU Stadium on the campus of the University of Houston, it's the 31st meeting between SMU and the Cougars. Houston rolls into this matchup undefeated with a record of 4-0, while the Mustangs make the trip with a record of 1-4. You come to Houston, you expect it to be warm and muggy, and tonight it is warm and muggy. 80 degrees, but 0% chance of rain. I'm Eamon McEnany, happy to be joined once again by the former Notre Dame linebacker, Rocky Boyman. And Rocky, you take a look at this great start so far for Houston. No doubt the leader is Greg Ward Jr.
Well, he's an exceptional athlete. Eamon, you watch this kid on tape, and he just flat runs away from people. Last week versus Tulsa sets the record for a quarterback rushing yards in a game with 182. But look, Tom Herman told us this week, this kid is just scratching the surface to the kind of quarterback he can become.
He leads the conference in total offense, putting up more than 382 yards a game. SMU also putting up points, and the Ponies have a pretty good quarterback themselves.
Yeah, he's a dual-threat quarterback as well, really thriving in this Chad Morris offensive system, putting some points up on the board. The one thing, you see the 21 sacks. That's not all on the offensive line. One thing he's got to learn to do is get that ball out of his hand a little bit quicker.
New eras at both schools, as both the Mustangs and the Cougars are led by first-year head coaches who established tremendous reputations as offensive coordinators. Tom Herman at Houston, Chad Morris at SMU. Their first meeting when we return right after this.
One more rep.
One more practice.
One more game.
One more pass. One more kids.
One more yard. One more tackle. One more first down. One more interception. One more touchdown.
One more win.
One more moment to shine.
The American Football Championship. It all comes down to one.
Welcome back to Houston. A good crowd on hand despite a very busy night of sports here in the Houston area. The Cougars won the coin toss and deferred, so SMU will receive. Houston in the all-red uniforms with the white sleeves as we have fireworks before the ball game. Raheem Malone back to receive. The kick from Ty Cummings. 3 receivers back for SMU. And we are underway from Houston. Short and returnable. This is Kevin Johnson from the 5. Gets out to about the 18. Which is where SMU and Matt Davis will take over.
And Matt Davis, I think a lot of people know by now, he originally committed to Texas A&M, and then there was just some kid there named Johnny Manziel, so he wound up transferring here to SMU. Last year started the last part of the season, but really didn't fit well into that kind of offense that June Jones ran. Now here with Chad Morris here, he's a nice dual threat. He fits perfect into this scheme.
He is a Houston native, so you know he's got to be fired up about this one here tonight. Fly sweep to Xavier Jones, gets out across the 25 near the first down. Jones and Braden West, pair of freshman running backs. He picks up 9 on the first play from scrimmage.
One thing you'll notice about, if you've seen Chad Morris in the past with Clemson, he loves to do the tempo, right? 90 plays a game. You're not quite seeing that here in year one with SMU as they're getting this scheme going. The defense has to come around, so they're taking a little bit more time than Chad Morris would like to.
Now Davis looking to throw on the rollout. He's going to keep it himself. He gets the first down and then slides at about the 34. Landon Roberts, they're bringing him down. Pick up a 6. Trips to the right, lone receiver to the left. Braden West in the backfield. Houston showing pressure. And big Tommy Mark wraps up West for the no gain. Rocky, who are your impact players tonight?
Well, for SMU, their best weapon on the outside is Cortland Sutton, their wide receiver, NFL-ready guy, 6'4", 215 pounds. And then for on the other side, he's got a great matchup tonight, folks. William Jackson, number 3, the cornerback, a future NFL player as well. Going to be a nice matchup to watch these two guys go at it.
2nd and 8, Prescott line in the backfield.
And we see Sutton and Jackson at the bottom of your screen.
Davis looking for an alley. Squirts through. He has open room. He's at midfield. The 40. Hightower pushes him out of bounds, but what a pickup by Davis.
And that's what you get out of Davis. Again, a fast guy, but he also breaks tackles. And he seemingly every week he gets more and more comfortable in this offense. When things break down, he can just find that area, squirt through, and pick up a nice gain.
He has 2 100-yard rushing games this season, 4 in his career. Xavier Jones in the backfield now with him on 1st and 10 from the Houston 35. Drop off, complete, incomplete. They jarred the ball loose. William Jackson came up looking for Cortland Sutton.
Again, that's his big-time guy, Cortland Sutton. Great ball skills, tremendous height, as we talked about. The thing about this SMU offense is they need a second wide receiver to emerge here, to take all the attention and all the pressure off of Sutton. Could be the tight end, Jeremiah Gaines. Also, Kevin Thomas, the freshman, is the guy to look for tonight.
They give it to Jones. Lowers the shoulder for a few extra yards. Adrian McDonald on the tackle, but a 6-yard gain.
You know, they kind of got this running back by committee thing going here at SMU. Braden West, Xavier Jones, Darius Terrell, Prescott Lum. I think Xavier Jones is the guy. He showed me the most in the last couple of weeks. Really quick guy between the tackles and accelerates well in space.
Chad Morris telling us this week West and Jones are the future face of this program. 7th play of the opening drive for the Mustangs. 3rd and 4 from the 29. Here comes pressure. Davis out of the pocket. Still scrambling. He has the first down. Nice cut. Still on his feet at the 15. Greg Ward Jr., not the only quarterback here tonight who can improvise. A 19-yard pickup.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Eamon. Greg Ward Jr. gets a lot of the attention nationally. But Matt Davis, you see what he can do as well. Create outside on the pocket, make things up as he goes along, but also break some tackles. He has really good field vision, and they need him to be dynamic tonight.
Kevin Thomas to the left, Twins to the right. Darius Joseph in the slot. This is a handoff to Jones. Gets inside the 10. 2-yard gain.
And Chad Morris in his system, again, when he was at Clemson, he really relied on a run game. You know, you talk about a spread offense, it's all passing. No, Chad Morris wants to run the ball. That's the area this SMU offense has got to get better at. Last week, just 40 rushing yards on 29 attempts.
Jones in the backfield with Davis. On 2nd and goal from the 8. The screen out of the backfield slips and falls. Jones makes the grab, but no gain. That'll be 3rd and goal from the 8.
And I'll tell you what, Eamon, had he looked to the right, he had Kevin Thomas, the young freshman, on a nice little out to the outside double move. Maybe look for him to go back to Thomas on this play. You also got Cortland Sutton to the top of your screen with that matchup we talked about on William Jackson.
Jones in the backfield, trips to the right. Davis looking for Sutton. Touchdown, SMU. They go with a freshman against the veteran, and the freshman wins.
And I can't understand that play. William Jackson is a big physical guy. He didn't get up and press the wide receiver at all. He gave him too much room. Cortland Sutton just stops in the end zone and catches the ball. Watch this. I don't understand why he didn't get up and press him much and challenge the play. He's got to be a little bit quicker on that break as well.
Chad Morris did not downplay his expectations for his young freshman wide receiver at all, comparing him to DeAndre Hopkins and Martavius Bryant, two of the best he had during his days at Clemson. So now Chad Hedlund on for the extra point. And it's good. So another good start for the Mustangs. 82 yards in 10 plays. Matt Davis with time, looking only for Sutton. He makes the grab. Touchdown, Ponies. Coaches said tonight the game within the game would be Sutton against Jackson, and we didn't have to wait long for that to play out.
Yeah, we didn't. And down there in the red zone, Sutton did a good job of getting Jackson to flip his hips. And as soon as he did, he just sat down on that play. But Jackson's got to have better awareness of where he is on the field. You're in the end zone, brother. You can't give that kind of room to especially a big-bodied guy like Sutton. He's going to beat you every time.
Jackson having a great year. Was tremendous last week against Tulsa and Kieris Garrett with 3 pass breakups, moving up on a lot of NFL boards, but the redshirt freshman,
yeah, he really is.
Matchup.
Yeah, he is. And Jackson's a guy that every NFL coach I talk to, they're trying to find, right? The 6'2" long cornerback. The problem is those guys don't grow on trees. Jackson's a good one. I expect him to bounce back here tonight.
Wilson and Webb back to receive for Houston. This one goes into the end zone, and Webb make that Wilson takes a knee. So now tonight our first look at Greg Ward Jr. in this Houston offense. And he is coming off a lights-out type of performance against Tulsa.
Well, how about this, Aim? We talked about what he did last week, the 182 rush yards. He gets Conference Player of the Week, and his head coach, Tom Herman, says he really took a step back last week. And, you know, I think, first of all, that speaks to the expectations of Tom Herman in this program and what he sees out of Ward. And, again, there were some deep balls that he missed and maybe a few reads. But certainly he is a fantastic quarterback here for Houston.
You mentioned it. We'll get into it throughout tonight. But Tom Herman knows a thing or two about working with quarterbacks, even without a lot of time.
He's the whisperer, right? The quarterback whisperer. What he did last year at Ohio State as the offensive coordinator. And J.T. Barrett, Cardell Jones.
That Braxton Miller fella. So now out of the pistol with Kenneth Farrow behind Greg Ward Jr. Play fake. Ward to throw. Complete to Ayers. Marcus Ayers with the grab. And he has been the go-to guy in the passing game, an 18-yard pickup.
And Tom Herman, again, worked under Urban Meyer all those years. We asked him yesterday, what did you learn most from Meyer? It's look, just knowing how to build a program. Everyone's got to have the same message.
Another play fake. Again, back to Ayers. Makes the first man miss. Gets into SMU territory. So Ayers averaging 8 catches a game, second in the conference, and he certainly was the only guy with any experience coming back at that position and has established himself as Ward's favorite target.
He really is, and they move him all over the place. You'll see him with the slot, you'll see him in the backfield, sometimes all the way out wide. They like to get him the ball. 2nd
and 1 after the 9-yard pickup. Now Ayers in the slot to the right. Stephen Dunbar, bottom of your screen to the left. SMU showing pressure. Another play fake. Ward with time over the middle. McCloskey with the grab inside the 20. Down to the 10, the tight end, Tyler McCloskey with the grab over the middle.
In the H-back position, aiming this Tom Herman offense is so important. He likes that 6th blocker, but he also likes the ability to throw him a ball down the seam, like you see McCloskey gets behind the linebacker.
Now Ward following Farrow, heads up field at the 5, steps into the touchdown. Just like that, the Cougars answer. Buckle up, it could be a long night for the defensive coordinators.
I'll tell you what, they better set an edge on that young man or it is going to be a long night. You cannot allow Greg Ward Jr. to get out in space and get an edge on you. That's exactly what he does right there. And then from there, it's just mom and dad and God-given ability all the way to the end zone.
So now Ty Cummings on for the extra point, a change in the kicking game for the Cougars. Kyle Bullard was a little shaky last week. And kick is good. So Matt Davis, as advertised. Greg Ward Jr., as advertised. We're all even at 7. It's the Ponies and the Cougars. Houston has played 5 games. They have scored on the opening drive of all 5 games. Greg Ward taking it in on his own to tie this ball game up at 7. And we saw fireworks right before the opening kickoff, and we've seen them on both drives here tonight from both the Cougars and the Mustangs.
I'll tell you what, he sure is dynamic, lightning quick. Can you get that guy in space, it's over.
Cummings back on for the kickoff. 3 men back again for the Mustangs. This one will not be returnable. All the way into the middle of the end zone where Braden West takes a knee, but we came on the show talking about the dual threat. Greg Ward Jr. showed both his arm and his legs.
Boy, he did. And it was a great play, the 31-yarder there to the tight end. Leaked him out a little bit late, got over top of the linebacker, Anthony Roan. Nice gain, and then from there, again, it was just Ward and his God-given ability on the outside. Look, this defense has struggled the last 2 weeks with running quarterbacks. Vlad Lee of James Madison 2 weeks ago, James Summers for ECU last week. They better have a plan for the running quarterback Ward.
Davis, impressive, of course, on the opening drive. 3 of 4 in the passing game, 3 runs for 55 yards. From the SMU 25, the give to West. Gets out near the 29, right up the middle. Brought down by Roberts, a 4-yard gain.
This Houston defense is really playing well, especially last week. They made some critical stops late, held a really high-powered Tulsa offense to just 24 points. Not a bad job.
They stack the receivers to the right. Lone man, top of your screen to the left. On 2nd and 6. Again, they go to the running game right up the middle. Powering up the middle, but short of the first down. That'll set up, it looks like 3rd and 1, a 5-yard gain. That was West, so now they go to the power back Prescott line.
Trying a little bit more tempo here. 3rd down was where they've struggled, again, the last 2 weeks. Last week, just 2 of 14.
They give it to Line, and he gets the first down and breaks through. At midfield, he's taken down, but a rumbling, stumbling run from the junior out of Michigan.
You know, it's nice to see Prescott Line get some carries. He was the guy that was kind of favored in the preseason. Haven't seen much of him late, but he finds a nice little crease there, picks up the first down.
17-yard pickup. Just 2 carries a week ago. Now from the Houston 49, Mustangs on the move again. They go back to Line, not much doing on this play.
And you can tell SMU is going to keep running the ball and just force Houston to put that extra defender in the box, try to get that one-on-one matchup with Sutton and try to hit him.
You've mentioned it, Rocky. It's, you know, pony up tempo. Chad Morris is Mr. Quick, but they also want to hold on to the ball and have long drives.
Well, especially when your defense is struggling as they have this year. You don't want to go 3 and out and get that defense back on the field too quick.
Houston bringing pressure. Davis sees it, but he can't hook up with West for the incompletion. Mentioned their no huddle hurry up, but they're 16th in FBS in time of possession.
It's something, you normally don't see. Again, Chad Moore, he wants to go quick, and probably next year they'll do. He told us this week probably only like 30% of his offensive system is put in. He wants to just work it in slowly and let these guys out there play, especially a playmaker like Davis.
Now 3rd and 9. The Cougar fans starting to make some noise. Davis lofts it, complete. This is Walker inside the 20. The spin move down to the 15. Shelby Walker gets open. Adrian McDonald finally brings him down, but it's a 33-yard pickup for the Ponies.
And I'll tell you what, that was a great play, Eamon, because again, what other wide receiver besides Sutton is going to step up? And right here early, it's Walker, picks up a really nice gain. Again, Sutton's on the other side of the field. He's getting a lot of attention by Jackson, the safety over the top. That leaves some nice room for Walker.
Here's Line. And he is met behind the line. Landon Roberts with the tackle. He is having a monster year at the linebacker position as a senior.
You know, I keep counting 6 defenders for Houston in that box, and I think that's a scenario, hey, if you're only going to keep 6, we're going to keep trying to pound that rock, try to force them to bring a 7th guy in later, then go to the outside.
No Sutton on this play. You got Malone and Joseph to the left. Kevin Thomas, the freshman, to the right. They keep it on the ground to Jones, who stutters his way into an alley and gets down to the 10. Nice patience by Xavier Jones, brought down by Adrian McDonald after a 6-yard pickup.
This is probably going to be Sutton time here. And it looks like they're going to line him up in the slot, which I like. Now you're not getting that matchup with Jackson's. Well, now they're going to go ahead and switch it. But you move that guy around and make it a little bit unpredictable, maybe find that mismatch you want on your best wide receiver.
Mustangs perfect on 3rd down so far tonight. 3rd and 4. Davis with time. Complete at the 2, spins into the end zone. Raheem Malone.
Great job by Davis just scanning the field. Then he finds his wide receiver over the middle. Looked like on the back end, Houston was just a little bit mixed up. Just a nice little option route. Then the spin move in for the touchdown.
I tell you, you're a Houston fan. You don't expect Roberts 44 or Taylor 41 to miss tackles. And good job by Malone to spin off of both of those guys and get into the end zone. And Headland is perfect once again. So far it's a wild, wild west shootout. Both quarterbacks living up to their billing. Davis with time, he found Malone, and Malone did the rest. Mustangs up by a score on the road against ball back and answers and regains the lead. Looking for its first conference win. They lead 14-7 with 5:24 left to play in the opening quarter.
That's one thing. We know SMU's offense can score points. They're scoring just over 31 a game. The question is, can they get just enough help from that defense?
Wilson and Webb back again to receive. You see the SMU scoring drive. Davis, the maestro, once again. And again, some critical 3rd down pickups. Now Headland boots it away. And this one carries into the end zone. Thought about it, but Wilson takes a knee. Out of the end zone against Louisville, go 100 yards, you think about it. And a reminder, this week, College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, is live from Salt Lake City, Utah, for the huge Pac-12 showdown between Cal and the Utes. Reese, Kirk, Dez, Lee Corso, and the rest of the crew get you set for a full day of pigskin. It all starts Saturday at 9 Eastern on ESPN, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Two of the surprise teams in that conference going head-to-head in a huge showdown. Now Greg Ward Jr. takes over. Ryan Jackson in the backfield out of the pistol. And the wide receiver flinched. It took him a while to see it, but Dunbar flinched wide out to the left, so that'll back him up 5.
Yeah, no question.
Tracy Jones, our referee tonight.
One thing when you watch this Houston offense all week, you see the explosive plays. They have 34 on the year coming into the game, and then they get the big one to McCloskey. They pick up their yards in chunks here in Houston.
5 yards step up against the Cougars. First and 15.
So that'll back them up to the 20. And make it 1st and 15. SMU showing pressure off the edge. Another whistle. And another false start by the Cougars. Not exactly how you want to start a drive.
Not at all. And SMU, like right at the last second, looked like they were going to try a corner blitz and bring Horace Richardson off the side. And that was just enough to get one of the wide receivers a jump.
So now 1st and 20 from the 15. Another play fake. They swing it out. Ayers makes the grab. Darian Richardson pushes him out of bounds.
And look, we haven't seen much run, especially by the big running back Kenneth Farrell, but I think what you're seeing here is they're going to just soften up the outside, make SMU spread out a little bit, start to cover the perimeter, and then they're going to start getting Farrell going vertical.
Now it's Jackson on the screen. Gets one block, but cannot get away from Richardson. Good hustle by Justin Lawler as well on the tackle.
And we talked about the running back, Kenneth Farrow, big-bodied guy, 5'10", 225 pounds. Really likes to go north-south, fits this smash-mouth spread kind of offense Tom Herman likes. And then DeMarcus Ayers, we've already seen him make a few plays here tonight.
3rd and 10 from the 25. Trips to the right. Dunbar to the left. He's looking for Dunbar, knocked away. Good coverage by Horace Richardson. So the Cougars are forced to punt on their second drive.
And that's what SMU needed right there, was a stop. Obviously, they get the help by the 2 penalties, but they'll take it. This is a defense that has struggled all year, especially giving up 3rd down situations. They get off the field, get the ball back to their offense.
Logan Piper on to punt for Houston, averaging more than 45 yards a punt. Last week, he broke off a 71-yarder. Darius Joseph, the veteran, back to receive for SMU, standing on the Mustang 30. Short kick, Joseph comes up, no fair catch signal. Goes out of bounds after a short gain. And that is where Chad Morris's offense will take over with a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, and Chad Morris got such a great history. You know, he started off as a high school coach. He took over at Stephenville High School for some coach named Art Briles. Whatever happened to that guy, by the way. Anyway, he takes over that program. He installs this power eye scheme. It didn't work, and they don't go to the playoffs. So what he does, goes to the offseason, visits a coach named Gus Malzahn at Arkansas, and kind of really formulates what you're now seeing as this great offensive scheme.
Also had a tremendous run at Lake Travis High School.
Yeah, 2 state titles there, 08 and 9.
Now off the play fake, Davis thought about running, and he throws it low, looking for Jeremiah Gaines. You know, we asked Coach Morris this week, why SMU? And he quickly answered, why not? And you know, though, his Texas connections had to be a huge part of that decision. And he told us this year at Spring Ball, over 1,000 high school coaches came during that month to watch and clinic and show support.
And look, it's the recruiting town. What he said, $10 and a tank of gas will get you about any recruit you need to see down here.
Get you to see any recruit. He's not paying for anybody's gas, right?
That's true. But you got to compete with some big schools.
Jones breaks through across the 40.
Should have clarified that. I don't want to break any NCAA rules. Not where I was going.
7-yard gain sets up 3rd and manageable, and they have had no problem executing on 3rd downs. 3rd and 3, we'll call it. They stack the receivers to the left. Jones in the backfield. Davis finds Walker for the 1st down. A strong throw. Brandon Wilson with the coverage, but SMU remains perfect, 6 for 6 on 3rd down conversions.
It was a good job by Walker just getting the defensive back again. Brandon Wilson to turn his hips, threatening him upfield with the speed, then broke the outcut, picked up the 1st.
We are seeing these young receivers make plays already tonight. It is not just Cortland Sutton in the passing game.
And again, that's important. That's the emphasis. It can't be just him. Teams can shut down one guy. When there's multiple weapons to go to, that's when the defense is in trouble.
Now Jones spins forward for an extra yard. B.J. Singleton in on the play for the Cougars, a 5-yard pickup. Balanced offense so far here for Chad Morris.
It really is, and again, that's his calling card. You always talk about spread, and people think these coaches just want to throw the ball around the yard 1,000 times, but it's balance. That's what Chad Morris wants, and especially if this run game can keep the momentum it has tonight, that's when his offense really works.
Now it's West in the backfield. Houston bringing pressure off the edge. Picked up for now. Davis looking deep over the middle. Lofts it up into double coverage. Incomplete. Looking for the freshman Kevin Thomas. And it was Brandon Wilson with the good coverage.
And Brandon Wilson, he's the cornerback opposite. Obviously, William Jackson, not quite as tall. He's only 5'11", so those are the kind of opportunities you're going to see SMU try to exploit, getting their bigger, taller wide receivers over top of him.
That deep ball hung up there a little bit, which allowed Adrian McDonald some time to get over.
That's what they did. That ball kind of died up in the air. Just a little bit too much loft on it there for Davis.
Certainly wasn't the wind knocking it down, because there's
right,
no
none.
breeze right now.
As I'm sweating all over the booth up here.
We didn't need to know all that, Rocky. Are they going to get it off in time? They do. Looking for Thomas. High throw, incomplete. So their first failed third down, and now decision time for Coach Morris. Looks like he's going to punt.
Yeah, that was a bad throw, but it was probably good that it was not a great throw, because William Jackson did a great job in coverage and would have probably stepped in front of it, maybe made the pick.
So now Jackson Kuntz on to punt. Thought with the momentum on the road he might go for it, but the way his defense came up with the stop last time, maybe trying to play field position instead. Ayers back to receive. Ayers is going to let it go. And it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Now let's take a look at this week's AP Top 10 rankings, brought to you by Goodyear. The big switch. Notre Dame and Clemson basically switch spots as the Tigers move into number 6. And then it's the Big 10 and the Big 12 in the top 4.
How about Utah last week? Was it 62-20? They beat Oregon? Man, that was impressive.
LSU with a home game all of a sudden against South Carolina. Of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims of the flooding in South Carolina, which forced the Gamecocks to move that game. Now Greg Ward Jr. and this Cougar offense back out there. Ward keeps it himself, right at the marker for a first down.
And that's where Ward is dangerous. Finds that open gap, slips through it, picks up yardage.
So now the Cougar fans can turn their attention strictly on the Cougars. Astros in a rain delay in the American League playoffs. Another play fake, Ward with time. Now the pocket collapses, hit as he throws, but he still finds Ayers wide open at the 40. Jackson Mitchell hustles back for the tackle. Make that Anthony Rones, but Ayers wide open in the middle of the field.
And again, this is what you want to see more and more out of Ward. It's not just the running ability, but the ability to stand strong in the pocket, take a hit, and deliver the ball to an open guy. Nice job.
33-yard pickup down to the SMU 37. This is Jackson, still on his feet at the 32. Mustangs trying to rip it free, but he holds on to it and picks up 6.
I'm wondering why we're not seeing Kenneth Farrow. I did not see him go down with an injury or anything like that.
Standing on the sidelines, isn't being attended to by any of the trainers or medical staff.
He's usually the bell cow running back there.
Jackson certainly has seen his action in his career, 15 career touchdowns. Now on 2nd and 4. Ward looks to be changing the play. Gives it back to Jackson. Bouncing out to the left. Good play by Roan to set the edge and limit that to a 1-yard gain.
This SMU defense is playing well, especially considering all the moving around of guys they've had. They've moved Shaq Randolph from linebacker to safety, moved some guys around, taken some red shirts off. They're trying to find the right chemistry on that defense.
No reason to rush here, but the Cougars want to get the playoff. They go back to Jackson, and a good decision as he breaks through. At the 10, leaps over one man, and then hits the turf. But Ryan Jackson breaks through for a pickup of 20. So that'll do it for the first quarter. The Cougars are once again knocking on the door. The offenses have had their way here tonight. Matt Davis locked in. Greg Ward Jr. stepping in. The Cougars looking to tie things up when we return to Houston right after this. It's 14-7 SMU. quarter combined by SMU and Houston, and no surprise, Rocky, the quarterback's doing most of the damage.
Yeah, we previewed it coming in, but they've really done the damage tonight. As you said, you see Ward Jr. 6 of 7. That's one of the most impressive parts about him is his completion percentage, 70% on the year. This kind of offense, it's all predicated on getting those accurate short throws, completing them, and moving the chains.
Houston on a 5-play, 70-yard drive right now. Kenneth Farrell back on the field. First and goal from the 10. They give it to Farrell right up the middle. Down to the 3. It's that easy, Rocky.
Just that easy. I was calling for him. I wondered when he was going to come out, but again, he's that north-south runner, and we talked to Tom Herman. He wants him to run behind his pads here tonight.
Cougars going quickly, right back to Farrell. Bounces off a tackler and pulls his way to the end zone.
How about that for running behind your pads, Eamon?
His 25th career touchdown. We're an extra point away from being tied again.
And last week in that game, Tom Herman said, look, Farrell early on, he was kind of just tiptoeing a little bit the line of scrimmage. Really wanted him to hit it here tonight, and he has. First 2 runs, bang, into the end zone, run behind those pads, driving those legs.
So now again, Cummings on, taking over for Kyle Bullard. The first one was a little shaky. This one he looked a little bit more confident with a little bit more authority, and we are all tied at 14. Well, Rocky was asking them to give the ball to number 35, and Kenneth Farrell showed why. 2 runs, second one into the end zone. We are tied at 14.
And Kenneth Farrell, 3-time captain. Coaches told us yesterday a great story just about his dedication. So they go up in the offseason to media day up in the Northeast, and he's bringing this huge duffel bag along. And they're like, what are you doing? We're only gone for 1 day. What's in the duffel bag, man? Well, it's a bunch of strength bands and dumbbells. He wasn't going to miss a workout. He was up at 5 a.m. that morning, got his workout in before he went to media day.
He brought his gym with him to Newport.
Brought his gym with him. That's what you do, right? Bring your gym with you?
I bring the running shoes. I don't know about that other stuff. Certainly not a bad place to go get a workout along the beach.
Not bad.
Now Cummings sends it into the end zone for a touchback. So Matt Davis and SMU will look to answer from their 25. And a reminder, celebrating its 11th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets. Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. And it looks like that total is going to go up here tonight.
Yeah, certainly setting up to be a shootout here. And this is the kind of game, if SMU can just hang around there a little bit, not make the margin too big, they have a chance here in the second half.
So Prescott line in the backfield. Davis changing the formation. Houston showing pressure off the edge. Looked like Stewart was offsides, but the Cougars were ready for Prescott line. No flag. Robertson on the play behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1.
And I'll tell you what, 94, Cameron Malveaux did an unbelievable job with the swim move, got into that backfield. He's one that really created the penetration on that play from the end position.
This is a veteran front 3 for Houston with Tommy Mark, B.J. Singleton, and Cameron Malveaux.
And that's the thing. They run a lot of guys in and out of there, rotate those bodies in, keep them fresh.
Whistles before the snap. Looks like Houston took a timeout.
Timeout. Houston. First charge timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
So breaking the action, we'll take one as well. All even at 14 early in the second quarter. All right, we'll call an audible and we'll stay here. And you can only speculate from up here, Rocky, why they took a timeout right at the snap.
Yeah, not exactly sure, but you know me. I hate wasting those timeouts and later, early on in the quarters. There, you like to keep those things for later when you need more plays toward the end of the half or toward the end of the game.
This game and all of ESPN's great college football action is streaming live on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Download the Watch ESPN app or go to watchespn.com. Got your batteries charged up for Saturday, Rocky? You gonna get that tablet juiced and ready to go?
I got the tablet going. I got the TV going. What do they call it? Multitasking. There you go. Lots of games out there.
You know, Rocky, something we were talking about during the week, interesting situation here with these two new coaches taking over new programs in the same conference, but really completely different situations.
It really is. I mean, Houston's done a little bit better of late, and I think they got certainly more of the veteran team, more juniors and seniors, and Chad Morris has got a very young team and not a very deep team. But again, you talk about the recruiting talent you got here, and both these schools historically have had some success. So they're certainly great jobs for, again, the two most dynamic hires in the college football world here this year.
As Morris told us this week, he said, I am here to build it. He's also looking for 11 yards here. Davis, pressure right up the middle. Dumps it off on the screen. He read it perfectly. Jones with plenty of real estate to move out across the 45. Ball comes loose. Recovered by SMU. Braylon Hyder, the big fellow, falls on it. It was Stephen Taylor popping it loose, but a 24-yard pickup, and SMU's on the move.
I'll tell you, when you want to neutralize a defense's speed, this is what you do. The little dump-off screen play there, and then it's just a lot of space and opportunity there for Xavier Jones. He's got to learn to hold on to that football, though. Looks like it
might have been down anyway.
Might have been down anyway, yeah.
So now West in the backfield for SMU, but great hustle by Hyder, another Houston native, making a play for SMU. Now West, able to fight his way to the 45. Roberts with another tackle.
If you're an SMU fan, you got to love the success of this running game so far. I didn't quite know that they would have this success on the ground, but again, it's making them balanced. It's going to start opening up that pass game on the outside as well.
We talked about it. Chad Morris wants to go quickly, but he wants to be balanced. And no, Davis going to keep it himself. Good decision on the zone read. Gets the first down and gets out of bounds.
Davis, quarterback keeper.
Great read by Davis. He rode that play fake down there really hard. He knew he just had Bowser on the outside to beat with his feet. Really good job getting all that flow going down one side. Perfect read, pulls it out, picks up some nice yardage.
9-yard gain. Well, Jones bounces it to the outside. Now he loses it, and this time Houston comes up with it. Bowser picks it up off the turf.
Sometimes when these backs are struggling, fighting for more yards, you get a little careless with the football. We'll see who popped it out here. Couldn't see the number. But a critical error there by SMU, and a nice job by Houston getting the momentum back, ball back to their offense.
That is what this Houston defense does and has been doing for years. They are active, going after the ball. I don't know if that was Brandon Wilson poking it free.
I think that might have been Wilson, the cornerback.
So now the Cougars with a chance to take the lead. Ward, the long throw out to Ayers. Great job by Joseph to fight off the block. Johnson, fight off the block and make the tackle in space. No gain.
Like you said, great job by Johnson fighting off the block and getting in on the tackle.
Yes, it's only the second quarter with 12 minutes to play, but this is a huge spot for this SMU defense, which has seen good starts be wiped out by the opposition the last few weeks. Now Richardson showing pressure off the edge.
I think for SMU is to not have the critical breakdown. They'll play well, don't have a critical breakdown in a game. They can't have it tonight.
Here's Farrow. Pushed back, still on his feet. Able to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. We'll give him one. We mentioned that in recent history, Houston has been great in the turnover game, and that has extended into the Tom Herman era.
Yeah, now +9 coming into the game, they were 3rd in the country, and that's the mark of a great team. You win that turnover battle. You can give up yards. You can even get a lot of yards, but getting turnovers, getting the ball back to your offense is what's important.
SMU bringing pressure. Ward cannot get away. Justin Lawler drags him down to the turf.
You said they brought the blitz off the offense's left side. It looked like just a mix-up in protection, and Lawler takes advantage, gets to the quarterback, brings Ward to the turf.
Big stand by the Mustang defense after the fumble, forces a punt. Ward limping a bit. He's not used to getting hit behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he looks a little like limping on the sideline a bit. That's a huge blow if he's not his dynamic self out there.
Joseph back to receive for SMU. Piper on to kick for the Cougars. High but short. Joseph says get away. And it takes a Cougar hop out of bounds. So the Mustang defense putting some pressure and getting to Greg Ward Jr. Justin Lawler with the sack. Mustangs get the ball back, looking to regain the lead when we return.
% or more on car insurance.
Rocky, you think you can handle the rest of the second quarter by yourself? I'm pretty hungry.
I take 2 of those trays, I think. I don't know about all of them.
Cougar fans holding their breath after Greg Ward Jr. limped off the field after getting sacked. Certainly hoping to see him return when the Cougars get the ball back. Davis and the Mustangs from their 30. Fly sweep to Thomas. Heads up field for a short gain. Kevin Thomas.
This is a part of that offense, these fly sweeps. They like to get the ball in the hands of a playmaker, try to get an edge.
They are high on #1. That's for sure. Talking to Coach Morris this week. They think this could be a breakout game for the rookie. 2nd and 8, under 10 minutes to play in the half. Five on the play clock. Pressure up the middle. Davis steps up, has room. Gets a block from line, gets a second block on the perimeter and gets hit by Roberts out of bounds, and there's the flag. 2 flags, though. We might have a clip also on the edge. Certainly there was a late hit on Roberts, but that other flag could be that second block Davis got when he looked to bounce outside.
There were 2 fouls on the play. During the play, illegal block in the back, offense, number 13. After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, defense, number 44. Both penalties were being enforced, resulting in an automatic first down.
And right there, Houston commits the sin of a defense when you're facing a running quarterback. It's getting too far upfield. There you see the late hit on Roberts. He's clearly going out of bounds. Yeah, that's one of those tough ones. As a former linebacker, I can tell you, those are tough. Well, you know, what if he puts his foot in the ground and decides to get 3 more yards? You know, it's one of those deals.
Hey, if that's a running back, there's no flag. You know that, but it's not. It's the quarterback.
Yep.
You got to know.
Exactly. No question about it. But again, when you have a running quarterback like Davis,
I understand, but it's very tough once as a linebacker you put your head down and go for that hit to know that one of those feet is on the white out of bounds.
Yep.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the SMU 47. Xavier Jones in the backfield with Davis. Twins to the left. Houston bringing pressure up the middle. They run right into it, but Jones gets outside, gets away from Taylor, and gets near the first down.
Xavier Jones on the carry.
Brandon Wilson pushes him out of bounds. This is the 31st all-time meeting between Texas rivals SMU and Houston. I'm Eamon McEnany along with the former Super Bowl champion linebacker with the Colts, Rocky Boyman. Houston comes into this matchup with a record of 4-0, SMU 1-4, but the Mustangs are on the move, looking to regain the lead with under 9 minutes to play in the half. Davis steps up, gets away from Bowser. Finds Zach Line open for the first down. Cougar fans wanted a hold, no flag, and the drive continues for the Mustangs off another improv play by Davis, 12 yards.
Again, that's what he does best. But, Chad Morris this week is like, he's got to understand sometimes he can't do it all. But then you get a play like this, he just creates and extends that play and winds up finding an open guy, picks up the first down. It's so hard with these dual threat guys. You don't want them to do too much out there, but sometimes that's what they do best.
Down to the Houston 32, back to Jones. Matt at the 30. Wilson comes up with the tackle to limit that to a 2-yard gain, which will set up 2nd and long. What is Chad Morris doing now as a play caller to keep this Houston defense off balance?
Well, again, I think he's really mixing up the run, and I'm just telling you, at some point, they're going to bring that extra guy in the box, it's going to create more opportunities on the outside for Thomas and Sutton.
Twins to the left, lone receiver to the right. Davis sees pressure, steps up, they still can't get to him. And then he's dropped by Taylor. He's been sacked 21 times coming into this game. We're starting to see that as they're getting to him, but it's his athletic ability which is avoiding the sacks tonight.
And again, that's the balance. That's one where maybe he needs to just throw that ball away or just find a guy and let it loose, but he sometimes holds on just a little bit too long. It works out here. And again, you don't want to take a quarterback's best attributes away from him, but it's a fine line. Sometimes he does too much and it creates those sacks, as we talked about, 21 on the year.
3rd and 5. SMU 6 of 7 on 3rd downs, and they want to talk this one over. So while Chad Morris comes up with a play, we'll step aside. A critical first half 3rd down play for SMU when we return. Plan for the SMU offense. That's the blueprint.
It really is. 219 yards you see, and 146 of that has been on the ground. We talked about the balance and also the time of possession. Almost 4 minutes greater than Houston.
That is the recipe for Chad Morris in year 1 at the Hilltop. And right now, off the timeout, he's looking for a first down. Again, 6 for 7 on 3rd down conversions.
Well, I'd love to see him go to Sutton here at the bottom of your screen, matched up with William Jackson.
Play fake to West. Here comes Taylor. Off his back foot, he throws it away.
And Sutton got tackled.
There's the flag.
There it is.
There it is. Very late, but it's going to be defensive holding against Jackson.
I mean, Jackson literally grabbed him and threw him to the ground. I understand being physical. You can't do that.
Tom Herman out near the hash marks, not happy with the flag, yelling at Tracy Jones.
Holding, defense, number 3, 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And Sutton goes on a little skinny post route, a little inside route. And when he does, again, you see him get his hands on him just and kind of throws him to the ground. Maybe a little bit of selling it on the job of Sutton there, but either way, too many hands going on there for Jackson.
So that, of course, extends the drive, moves the ball down to the Houston 17. So SMU has been extremely efficient in the red zone lately. This is Jones, patiently waiting up his blocks, breaks a tackle, down to the 2. So Xavier Jones, who had 96 yards on 14 carries against North Texas, picks up 16 there.
And he got a nice block from the offensive lineman pulling around Evan Brown. He just rides. I love the patience by the running back here, waiting for the block, and then just breaking tackles, driving the leg, picking up some extra yards after contact.
So SMU has scored on its last 18 red zone trips, including 2 tonight. Looking to make it 19 straight. Here with 1st and goal from the 1.
Kevin Thomas at the top, matched up against Brandon Wilson.
Davis keeps it himself, no one open. Gets the corner around Bowser and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, SMU.
And you got to think that Matt Davis, with all this talk about Greg Ward Jr. and how dynamic he is in leading his team, Matt Davis says, what about me? Houston covers up everybody in the secondary. Nowhere for Davis to throw the ball, but he just puts the team on his back, sprints to the sideline. punches in for the touch.
So SMU back on top with 6:16 left to play in the half. Headland remains perfect, and it's 21-14 here in Houston.
Matt Davis, maybe it's not exactly how you draw it up, but he is a playmaker, Raymond. Right here, gets his team into the end zone and on top. 6 minutes left to go in the quarter.
Chad Morris, a longtime high school coach, longtime offensive guru, always teaching.
But look, his players love him. That's the thing. He's saying, hey, settle down here. But then look, he's talking to him, and then you see him reach in for the hug right there. I'll tell you, I'm really happy for Matt Davis. I called his first start last year versus Central Florida. Again, he was kind of a square peg in a round hole thing. He was a dual threat guy trying to fit in that run and shoot offense. But now this really fits his skill set, and you can see the success he's having.
You think Davis leaned in there and said, but coach, I scored.
Yeah, can't yell at me when I score. That's kind of the rule, right?
Wilson and Webb back to receive for the Cougars. Here comes Headland. Low liner. That'll stay in bounds. Bobbled by Webb. Jacked up, and there's a flag. Pushes the pile out to the 28. So let's see what the call is.
Doing the return. Illegal block in the back. Deceiving team. Number 30. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So that was Wilson on the return. The call goes against Earl Foster. And a reminder, it's Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo as the 12th-ranked undefeated Noles take on a Hurricane team looking to snap a 5-game losing streak to their rivals in Tallahassee. Miami and number 12 Florida State, Saturday, 8 Eastern on ABC. Good news for Seminole fans. Dalvin Cook returned to practice today, so he should be a go for that one. Tough spot for Al Golden.
Yeah,
to go on the road into Florida State with that seat pretty hot.
Well, how about last week? Maybe one of the biggest wins for the American Conference on the season with Cincinnati upsetting the Canes at their place.
Now Kenneth Farrow in the backfield, 4 wide receivers from the 15. Ward Jr., dangerous pass, almost intercepted. Horace Richardson had both hands on that one. And I don't know if he ever saw number 9 in white.
He didn't at all. It was a good job by Richardson, sloughing off, playing that flat, but also getting depth underneath the number 1 wide receiver. Cornerbacks that don't know how to play the position, they stay up in the flat. The good ones sink back and get underneath the 1 receiver. Richardson, a great job, great technique.
Here's Farrow up the middle. Nothing doing. Pushed back by Spencer Holly. And you mentioned that might be the best out-of-conference win for the American, but it's a team that's winless in the American.
Yeah, I know. We saw UC. We called that game versus Temple, where Temple with the upset, and then getting upset by Memphis a couple weeks later. Temple on top again, undefeated.
There are a couple of huge games for the conference in the next few weeks. Navy at Notre Dame, you get that win. Maybe Navy obviously becomes ranked. Memphis, which is ranked, gets a shot at Ole Miss. Those are the kind of games that if you're an American Athletic Conference fan, you're looking to pull out. And here comes pressure. Ward gets away from the first man. Still on his feet, but then is brought down from behind by Jarvis Pruitt. So a loss of 3 sets up another Houston punt.
And Pruitt, just a great job of staying with the play. Sometimes you see those ends give up when the quarterback starts to work outside the pocket. He doesn't. Stays with it, and even with the speed of Ward, great job by Pruitt, tripping him up.
Pruitt, a junior from right here in Houston. So the Houston natives, led by the quarterback Matt Davis, coming home and making an impact here tonight. So now Piper.
Look, you feel the sideline of the Mustangs here starting to believe a little bit, getting some juice.
From the end zone, here comes pressure. And he was run into, no flag. Joseph lets it go. And Tracy Jones, our referee, was looking right at the punter, and Piper hit the turf. Now there's a flag on the return out by the 41. But nothing on the collision with the punter. So it's a 51-yard punt, no return.
There was no foul. So it went into the kicker. The defender was blocking to the kicker. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Receiving team number 4. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That is a huge call against David Johnson because they were going to get good field position. And now that's going to back them up 15.
And by the way, on the rule with running into the kicker, that is the correct ruling on that. If a guy is blocked, if the offensive player throws him into the kicker, that does not constitute running into the kicker, even though the fans here in Houston wanted it.
So now Davis back on the field. He has been cool, calm, and collected at the controls of this SMU offense so far here tonight. Now 4:25 left to go, and the way SMU likes to kill clock, they'll certainly be able to finish this half out. Prescott line in the backfield with Davis, and there's movement before the snap.
Five-yard penalty. First down.
It was on Hyder. He was the pulling guard on that play. Just wanted to get a little bit too quick of a jump, getting out around the edge. You saw what they were lining up there. They moved their guys with the motion. 2 running backs on the right side. They pulled the guard around, trying to get some leverage on the Houston defense.
Davis getting it done both on the ground and with his arm, much like his counterpart, Greg Ward Jr.
Taking care of the football.
Davis.
Yeah.
Keeps it on the outside, trying to avoid Roberts, and there he takes the safe route and hits the turf. Picks up 4, almost back to the original line of scrimmage.
Second and 11 and 21.
Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. SMU with the ball and the lead on the road against undefeated Houston. Mustangs in no rush. Play clock down to 8. Dangerous pass, gets through to Sutton. I thought for sure Stewart was going to get a hand on that one, and so did he, I think.
Yeah, Stewart's a heck of a player, and this is always an awkward position for a quarterback. He's rolling out to his left. He's got to rip his shoulders back around to get some leverage on the throw, and Stewart almost made him pay for it. Luckily, Sutton's 6'4", and if you put it up that high, you're not in danger.
Houston fans want to stop, want to make an impact. Here on 3rd and long. We'll make it 3rd and 4, actually. SMU's been very good on 3rd down tonight. 6 of 7. Here comes pressure up the middle. Then they get to a ball is loose. McDonald falls on it. Taylor got him from the blind side. McDonald picked it up for another turnover. That is what this Houston defense does.
No question about it, Eamon. They bring the pressure, and then it's one of their best defensive players, a linebacker. I love him, Stephen Taylor. Off the edge. It looked like the running back, I think it was West, tried to cut Taylor, but see the athleticism of Taylor. Not getting cut, staying on his feet, causing a huge turnover.
He had a monster game a week ago against Tulsa. 16 tackles, 3 sacks. He gets a sack there, and he forces the ball loose, and what a shock. Adrian McDonald is in the right place at the right time to come up with a free ball for this Cougar defense.
And look, that's the kind of player Taylor is. He stays on his feet. He doesn't break down when he tackles. He's such a fluid athlete, and you really saw it there with the hips and then getting to the quarterback.
Now Farrow and the Cougars looking to take advantage. He bounces off a tackler to spin forward for an extra yard or 2.
You know, think of Farrow as Ezekiel Elliott in this Tom Herman offense, right? Downhill, smash mouth up front, get that offensive line moving some bodies, and then get the 225-pound running back with a head of steam.
The first fumble did not prove costly for SMU. That's going to be tough to happen again for the Mustangs here as they are knocking on the door. Houston is after the fumble recovery. Right back to Farrow, right back up the middle, and right back into the end zone.
There is nothing about this offense that wants to fool you. especially on that drive right there. Hey, we're lining up, fellas. We're going right here with the football. Try and stop us. Great job by Farrow and that offensive line. Houston back on the board.
4th touchdown of the season, 26th of his career.
And you wonder if Farrow must have taken a little bit to heart that Herman was like, hey, you're tiptoeing a little too much out there. No tiptoeing about that, Eamon. He's running behind those pads tonight.
Now Cummings on to tie it up once again. And the extra point is good. It was the defense setting up the offense and some of the knowns coming through for the Cougars. Taylor got to Davis. McDonald was in the right place at the right time. And then Farrow did the rest. The veterans coming through for the Cougars, and we are tied once again. All of a sudden, there is life in TD-ECU Stadium when SMU had everything going to plan. A strip sack, a fumble, and then Kenneth Farrow doing the rest. And now it's the Cougars with momentum.
You know, it's one of those things, Eamon. SMU's leading in yardage, and they're leading by like 5 minutes in time of possession. Oh, this is great. They're doing well, but that's the power of turnovers. Houston +2 on turnovers on the night. That is the difference-making thing in football.
You see the difference in enthusiasm in the two sidelines. The Cougars bouncing up and down for this kickoff, and SMU maybe with one eye to the locker room, but they have a critical drive here with 2:18 left in the half. This will be Malone. Change of direction across the 20, out near the 24, and he's pushed out of bounds. Let's check in with Adnan Verk in the studio.
All right, Eamon, thank you very much. Coming up on the Land Rover halftime report, an update on what's happening with Washington and USC. That game is over on ESPN. Plus, halftime pick'em, Joey Galloway and Danny Cannell. Who do they like when it comes to Cal and Utah? Of course, that's the site of where College Game Day is going to be. Plus, some fun and frivolity, and also concerns around Randy Edsall while his days could be numbered as head coach of Maryland. Back to you, Eamon.
Wow, certainly looking forward to hearing that discussion. A rough beginning to this season for Randy Edsall and the Terps.
Look, if you're SMU right now, you don't need to panic. You've been playing well. Let's not try to let one turnover just suck all the momentum you've had so far this game. Relax, keep staying balanced. Let Davis make good decisions.
Both teams with 2 timeouts left, looking to throw. And he hooks up for the grab, Xavier Castile. That surprised me. I thought they might play it safe here with just over 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, I think they just got confidence in Davis. He's a junior. He's been around the block a little bit here. He's not scared. He wants to lead his team down, try to get some points on the board before half.
Big moment here for this SMU offense with the Cougar fans alive and making noise. Davis looking deep, looking for Sutton against Jackson. No flag. The Cougars certainly wanted offensive pass interference as Sutton was botting him up at 6'4", 215.
And it looked like, Eamon, that Sutton had his left arm wrapped around William Jackson as that ball was in the air. I think the Cougar faithful here have a little bit, well, it's close. There's a lot of contact there, but I think the left arm of Sutton got all Jackson.
I think William Jackson III might remind a few of the officials that he's a senior and the other guy's a redshirt freshman.
That's right.
Maybe something like, he ain't Michael Irvin yet.
Yeah, let that young man earn it out there.
2nd and 10 from the 36. Now they go to the ground. And Braden West out across the 40, near the 45. Pick up a 7. So again, going quickly as we're under 1:30 here. And now they want to take a timeout and talk things over here on a critical 3rd down.
Second charge, timeout.
Kind of got the feeling you don't want to rush that play at this point in the half.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, I always hate wasting those timeouts, but again, this is kind of a young team, and you want to make, if you don't get this 1st down, you're not going to be getting any points, and you're going to give the ball maybe back to Houston here. So I can see where Chad Morris would call that.
All right, Rocky, 3rd and 2. Let's put the headset on. Let's look at your play sheet. What do you got for me?
You got to put the ball in the hands of Davis. Roll him out. Give him an option to both run the ball or to find a receiver open, maybe Thomas or Sutton. But I think he's certainly going to want that ball in his hands, try to make a play here in a critical situation.
SMU 6 of 8 on 3rd downs, but of course on their last 3rd down, Davis was hit from behind and coughed it up. West in the backfield. 3rd and 2, 1:25 left to play in the half. Complete for a 1st down to Malone. Right near midfield, they pick up 5. And the Ponies march on.
Great job. Davis saw the corner Wilson playing off, hit the receiver.
Pressure off the edge, picked up by West. Davis steps up, he's going to run for it. There's a flag. Gets out of bounds. McDonald now a 2nd flag.
Holding, offense, number 63, 10-yard penalty. 3rd down. Excuse me, 1st down.
So that call goes against Evan Brown. They mark it at the SMU 39 with 1:08 to play in the half. Chad Morris a little frustrated, off schedule now here. 1st and 20. They run it up the middle. And you wonder if that's an influence of the penalty to go conservative here and force Houston to take its timeouts.
So I think they're going to try to use their timeouts and hope to get the ball back.
Houston, yeah, 2nd charge timeout. It will be a 30-second timeout.
So both teams now down to 1 timeout left, as these two offensive wizards now play the chess match of time management. And after tonight's Pac-12 showdown on ESPN that Adnan told you about, stick around for SportsCenter at night. SVP sits down with Falcons head coach Dan Quinn to discuss his team's impressive 4-0 start. It's SportsCenter at night, kicking off when Washington USC ends on ESPN and streaming live on Watch ESPN. So I'll take you back into that offensive huddle. You taking it, playing it conservative and making Houston burn its last time out?
Yeah, I think you are, especially at this area of the field. Before the penalty, you had some things going, had some rhythms and momentum, but it's going to be tough with just a 1 minute left and 1 timeout.
Well, looking to throw with time and complete. Sutton goes down to make the grab. Let's see where they mark it. Not a great spot as he had to go back for the ball.
Now he looked like he was certainly short.
So that sets up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, the breakoff by receiver was a good 2-3 yards short of the sticks.
Ball loose again. Still batted around. And Houston gets it again. The 3rd turnover caused by this Houston defense, and once again it's when SMU's on the move. Braden West coughs it up. Gerard Carter with the recovery.
There's a fumble. Recovered by the defense. 1st down.
And look, Braden West is just a freshman, but he's got to realize in this situation, yes, you want to score, but ball security is first and foremost. He tries to get the other hand in there, but it's too late before the defender rips it out.
Stephen Taylor once again causes another fumble.
Yeah, he makes so many big plays, this Stephen Taylor.
He has been tremendous this year. He blocked the game-tying field goal attempt by Louisville in that win over the Cardinals. Had 16 tackles a week ago. And now he pops the ball loose, giving Greg Ward an opportunity. The pump. Now he's in trouble. You can't say now he's in trouble when it's Greg Ward Jr. as he gets out of bounds.
He can escape from most anything.
6-yard pickup.
Yeah, they were trying to double move to the top there. I believe that was a Stephen Dunbar. But the cornerback, I believe it was Richardson, wasn't fooled.
Now from the 49 with 36 seconds left. Ayers in the slot. Allen, bottom of your screen to the right. Dunbar, top of your screen. Ward steps up, has a man wide open. It's Dunbar at the 30. Spins forward inside the 25. Now again, the kicking game is suspect here for the Cougars, and there's a hurt Houston player all the way back at the 41. A 28-yard gain.
Wayman, you mentioned the kicking game for Houston. They missed 2 field goals last week. Did Kyle Bullard, 1 from 40, 1 from 44.
That appears to be Zach Johnson. Looking at I think I see a 7 and a 1.
See if we get a look at it here. Ooh. Look from that replay, the right ankle might have gotten rolled up on.
Zach, a senior from Norman, Oklahoma. See his classmate Kenneth Farrell checking in on him.
And that's the thing that's so tough. You know, he's playing his technique and doing pretty well, but when there's bodies on the ground, sometimes these things, you know, guys are playing hard. It wasn't dirty, he wasn't trying to do it, but okay, he got on the lower right leg there. So you're taking the knee brace off, probably going to do the stability tests. And it's always good to see when the head coach comes out there and sees how his guys doing. I'll tell you what, as a former player, the players like that. They know that their coach isn't just looking at them as a piece of meat out there.
Chad Morris comes out.
Yep, look at that.
Gets an update from Tom Herman. These two coaches obviously have gotten to know each other pretty well, going to clinics together, coaching against each other in bowl games when Clemson met Ohio State. So hopefully Big Zach will be okay. As a couple of his colleagues come out to help him off the field.
That'll put Marcus Oliver at left tackle. And Cooper will be at right.
So now the Cougars in business. Ward forced out of the pocket. What a move. Stays in bounds short of the first down, so Tom Herman runs out on the field to take a timeout after the 8-yard gain. With 16 seconds left. So 16 seconds left, you're out of timeouts.
There's certainly time for a shot to the end zone, but as we just talked about, field goal kicking is not something Houston's done well. Last week they missed the 2 field goals. This week they had a kicking competition between Bullard and Cummings. Late after practice, they get them both out there, they blare the music and squirt the water bottles at them, try to get them distracted. Who can take a hold of that kicking job?
And Cummings won the job going into this week, but he's never kicked a field goal in a game in his Houston career. The junior out of South Lake, Texas. And look, the American Athletic West in year 1 of the split division is loaded.
How about that? 3 undefeated teams. Tulsa's at 2-2, but they're a good team as well.
So the ball at the 15. So right now, if they don't gain any yards, it would be a 32-yard kick for Cummings. but 16 seconds left. Allen makes the grab for the first down, gets all the way down to the 1, so now they're going to have to clock it. So there's a stop momentarily for the first down.
What time here?
Now the clock is moving. Ward Jr. looking to do it himself, and he does.
There was no clocking it on the mind of Greg Ward Jr. on that play. He wanted that ball. He was confident he could get into the end zone. And what a huge turn of events. Houston getting the ball back on the third turnover. Ward punching it in. Houston goes up.
For the first time tonight, Greg Ward Jr. and the Cougars take the lead. And again, it was turnovers, putting the ball in the hands of number 1.
It was a good job to stay relaxed here, getting the play call. But again, Ward Jr. wanted that football. He knew he could punch in the end zone. Got some great blocking off to the left side. Find a little hole and squirt it in.
So now Cummings remains perfect in the extra point category tonight. But the Cougars take advantage of another pony turnover. Greg Ward Jr. in the offense goes 5 plays, 57 yards in 42 seconds to go on top. And be on the lookout for Taco Bell student sections and passionate fans like these at games all season long. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to learn how to win a chance to join your school's student section at the college football playoff. So you want to go into coaching, Rocky? Everything's going according to plan.
Right.
You're moving the ball twice, and now, boom, you're on the ropes at halftime.
Yeah, you have a freshman running back not taking care of the football. It gets stripped out, and again, the entire SMU's controlling the game. They're leading in yardage. They're controlling the clock. Everything Chad Morris wants to do, but those 3 turnovers are absolute killers.
Ball-hawking Cougar defense continues that tradition here tonight. And it's really the guys you expect, the Taylors, the Hightowers, and the McDonald's.
They only had 7 turnovers coming into this game. They get 3 tonight.
Here's Walker. Tripped up across the 25, and that'll do it for the first half. Well, if you like offense, you liked our first 30 minutes, a very entertaining ball game. Our halftime score, Houston leads 28-21. Stay tuned for the Land Rover halftime report with Adnan Virk, Joey Galloway, and Danny Cannell. Welcome back to the American Athletic Conference on ESPN. Moments away from the start of the second half here at TD-ECU Stadium. Eamon McEnany along with Rocky Boyman as Houston with a late rally in the first half leads 28-21. And Rocky, as we take a look at the first half stats, the number that jumps out to you is a pretty obvious one.
Well, look, and that stat graphic is for all the fans out there that think football is all just about stats. SMU leading in virtually every category, yards, including time of possession, 9 minutes more, but the big one is the one at the bottom. 3 turnovers have doomed this team. It's really come in and played well, but look, they're still into it, just down by 7.
All right, now let's take a look at tonight's playbook, brought to you by Fairfield Inn and Suites.
Well, look, it's been Kenneth Farrow, the running back for Houston, really getting it done. Was kind of challenged by his coach this week to run harder, and especially in those short yardage situations, and he's been fantastic. 2 touchdowns, and then the key block on the Ward touchdown sprung the lead now for Houston heading into the third quarter.
The story right now, Houston converting 2 SMU fumbles into touchdowns in the final 2 minutes and 18 seconds of the first half to go from trailing 21-14 to leading 28-21, and Greg Ward and the Cougars get the ball to start the second half. Wilson and Webb back to receive. Hedlund for SMU to kick off. Second half underway. And again, it's another touchback as Hedlund drills it out of the end zone.
And look, if you're Van Malone, SMU's defensive coordinator, saying at halftime, look, guys, we've played well. The defense has done its job more or less here. A lot of the points are off the turnovers, so they need to just keep settling down and play their assignment football. They've done a pretty good job of containing Ward so far in this football game.
They were able to hit him behind the line of scrimmage a couple of times. But you give him great field position, and he took advantage of it late in the second quarter. As you look at his numbers, contained in the running game for now.
And that's the thing for now, because he's a guy that just needs one little crease and he can break you.
Two backs in the backfield with Ward. This is Jackson. Hit by Lawler, bounces off him, finally brought down by Johnson.
And Jackson on the carry. Mitchell stopped.
Tyrone Mitchell in on the play as well.
And for SMU defensively, obviously what you need is a turnover, right? You need to change that momentum, get some of those turnovers back in your column, get the ball back to your offense. That minus the turnovers, done a good job moving the ball tonight.
So now they empty the backfield. They move Farrow out wide to the left. McCloskey in the slot. Ward looking for Allen, pressure again. And he escapes the pocket into the open field. Gets by Tuiasosopo, gets the first down and dropped from behind by McClanahan. But a 19-yard pickup for Ward.
And Eamon, I saw it coming a mile away. They spread everyone out, get all five guys out on the line of scrimmage. And what's that do? Create lanes for Ward to squirt through there and picks up the yards. Get those defenders spread out, get a lot of open space, and that's where Ward can really do damage.
Jackson and Webb in the backfield now with Ward. That was Ward's longest run of the night. Now looking to throw. Hit as he throws. This will be a fumble. McClanahan comes up with it. Right now the ruling on the field is a fumble. Lawler hit him. McClanahan came up with it.
And it was Lawler off the left side. Remember, Zach Johnson, the left tackle, went down with the injury. Oliver was in. And Lawler beat him for the sack strip.
Certainly you would imagine this would be looked at upstairs by Roy Reynolds. Fans here in Houston certainly think the arm was going forward for an incompletion. Take a look there. Hit from behind.
It did look like that hand was.
The replay official Roy Reynolds, our communicator Kevin Collins.
But again, remember, Zach Johnson, the tackle goes down. They put Oliver in. He's been dealing with an ankle injury himself and not really in the flow. And Lawler gets around him.
Again, the ruling on the field was fumble. So do you have enough video evidence? Indisputable video evidence to overturn that.
And obviously the hand finished through, but was the ball coming through? Was the ball coming forward as it was hit out? That's what they're going to look at. But to your point, they called it a fumble on the field.
There's a look at Josh Thomas, the sophomore out of Louisiana, being helped off the field.
Here's the best angle. Hands going back. The ball looks like it maybe come forward a bit.
And the call was confirmed. So the ruling on the field was correct. So a great opportunity here for SMU as they get a turnover of their own.
That's what we talked about. That's what SMU's defense need to do, is create a turnover themselves, get the ball back to their offense. They now have their opportunity. It's up to Matt Davis and this offense to make them pay.
Now, one guy who has not been involved in this offense is Jeremiah Gaines, who had a huge game a week ago. The owner of Chad Morris looks to get 23 and White involved. Davis cannot. Now he can. Oh, he throws it up for grabs. He was certainly out of the pocket. How did he get away from Tommy Mark?
Unbelievable play, yeah. He looks like he is dead to rights for about a 10-plus yard sack. He shakes off the tackler as he's done so many times. At least gets rid of the ball. And you said it, Eamon. Tommy Mark had him dead to rights there and somehow gets out of it. Don't know how.
Tommy Mark's 300 pounds.
That's right. It's a great job not taking the sack there.
Davis still has it behind the line of scrimmage. Shelby Walker spins, but it looks like it's right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Another tackle for Landon Roberts. So now 3rd and long for Davis and the Mustangs.
Boy, this would be a huge stop for Houston. They can give up the turnover and the defense forces a 3 and out. I think if you're SMU in this situation, 3rd and 10, you need to get some yardage here. Go to Sutton, go to your playmaker. He's at the top of your screen.
And William Jackson III follows him there. They were 7 of 10 on 3rd down in the first half. This is 3rd and 10. With time for now. Found Sutton, but well short of the first down. So now Chad Morris is going to have to think things over. It's going to be at the 38. Now they have a good kicker. Chad Henlon kicked a 52-yarder against James Madison.
I think it's an area of the field where it makes more sense to go for it. It looks like Chad Morris is going to do just that. He wants to come in here and be aggressive.
Xavier Jones in the backfield. Sutton and Jackson one-on-one, bottom of the screen to the left, which is where Davis is looking now. Here comes pressure. Incomplete.
Well, he was trying to go to Sutton again. That's his go-to guy in critical situations. But it was the linebacker, Landon Roberts, brought the pressure, forced the bad through by Davis.
The turnover does not hurt the Cougars, thanks to the Houston defense. Back after this. Kieran Houston and Rocky at the beginning of the game. Matt Davis was pretty comfortable in the pocket. That's not the case anymore.
I'll say, especially here of late, it's been the defense for Houston, especially the linebacker, Steven Jackson, with the early sack strip. And later on, he gets to Davis as well. Steven Taylor, excuse me. And then later on, it's the linebacker, Landon Roberts, there on that 4th and 5 that forces the bad throw by Davis. Houston gets the ball back. The turnover by them does not hurt them.
So Chad Morris rolling the dice on 4th and 5, now asking his defense to come up with a stop, giving Greg Ward Jr. good field position from the Houston 38. Luke Jackson had to go back to grab it. He wasn't sure he had it. It was on his hip, but a bad exchange between Ward and Jackson. That could have been disastrous for the Cougars.
And boy, they got really lucky because Ward kind of held on that ball a little bit too long, and then Webb just kept it really behind his back, and they're really lucky that didn't cause a turnover there.
Checking for his wallet back there.
That's right. Good concentration.
Well, they were able to gain a couple of yards, give them 3 yards to make it 2nd and 7. Now they go to the pistol with Jackson. Play fake. Hooks up with Ayers inbounds into SMU territory. Marking it at the 40. $19-yard gain. SMU showing pressure off the edge with Richardson, but he backs off. Quick release over to Ayers. Cannot spin away from the tackle. David Johnson brings him down in the open field to limit that gain. Ayers now with 7 receptions for 91 yards. He's averaging 8 catches a game, 2nd in the conference. And he continues his streak of at least 6 catches in every game.
Guy they haven't seen much of is Chance Allen, bottom of your screen. Wonder when they get him involved.
Maybe on this one, Rocky, as the Oregon transfer goes down to make the grab inside the 20.
But he's a guy, he's got great size, 6'3", 215, goes to junior. You wonder, he's a playmaker that amongst a lot of these playmakers that Houston has, may have gotten lost a little bit, but Ward finally finds him, gets him in the flow of this game.
They lost plenty of experience with the likes of Deontay Greenberry moving on. Ayers really the only guy who saw plenty of action at wide receiver. to Jackson. Not much doing on that run up the middle.
Now here they bring in Farrow. This has been the part of the field where they'd like to bring him in and really let him go north-south.
Jackson picks up 3 to set up 2nd and 7. And again, if you're SMU, you really want to try to force a field goal, especially with the question mark of Cummings. But Farrow bounces off one tackler, flag on the play. Again, this is a banged-up offensive line that the Cougars are working with right now.
Holding, offense, number 75, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Call goes against Marcus Oliver, the sophomore from right here in Houston. So that takes him out of the red zone. Backs it up to the 26. 2nd down. Quick release to Allen on the slant. Down inside the 10, brought down by 4 Mustangs. 16-yard pickup right at the marker. So Ward 4 for 4 for 56 yards on this drive, and they're ready to go quickly. 3rd and short. Ward's going to keep it himself. Gets a great block from Farrow and can stroll into the end zone once again.
Another rushing touchdown for Houston. Great blocking all around. Guys getting on the 2nd level. And again, it's Farrow. Has the 2 touchdowns, but also a key block on the first Ward touchdown. And again, gets to the outside, hunts his man down, finds him, bang, lays the shoulder on him, and then from there it's all Ward.
So now Cummings on for another extra point. So after the defense comes up with the stop on 4th and 5, Ward and the Cougar offense takes advantage. That's why they call it execution. You get a great block on the edge, and you got a pretty good running quarterback to do.
To the military community for over 90 years. And Buick, proud partner of the NCAA.
Everything was going SMU's way with 2:18 left in the first half, but since then, Houston has outscored the Mustangs 21-0, much to the delight of offense coordinator Major Applewhite.
Yeah, I mean, we enjoyed talking with him yesterday. He played back when I was playing, did a great job down at Texas, and he talked about being in the coaching profession and how much he loves it and being around these young men, really being a part of changing the culture here in Houston.
He looks a lot younger than you do, Rocky. You guys play at the same time?
I can't believe it took you that long to get that in.
Great career for Mac Brown and the Longhorns. Probably knows his way around the high school circuit here in Texas to help recruit. And 2 schools who know how to recruit will be meeting up on Saturday. It's college football presented by 5 Hour Energy. Pits number 6 undefeated Clemson against the rival Rambling Wreck at Death Valley. Saturday at 3:30 Eastern. This game is also available live nationally on ABC or ESPN2, streaming live on Watch ESPN. Clemson has won 12 straight at home, Rocky 32 straight against unranked opponents, while the Georgia Tech is looking to turn things around. Yeah. Chad Morris, of course, was at Clemson, very familiar with Dabo Swinney and Deshaun Watson and that offensive talent. And now he's getting a shot to be a head coach, and he hands it off to line. And Hightower comes up to make the tackle. Gain of 1. What do you think Chad Morris is looking for here on this drive? Obviously needs to sustain something to keep that defense off the field.
Yeah, that's the thing. They haven't quite been able to get the running game going quite as well here in the second half so far.
Sutton and Jackson, bottom of your screen to the left. That's where Davis is looking. Changes his eye set, has a man open. Joseph turns around to make the grab. Bowser runs him down. It looked like McDonald did just enough to get up off the turf to get an arm on him, or else Joseph was running to the house.
And Darius Joseph, he was their leading wide receiver last year, but so far before this catch, he only had 3 receptions on the season. Davis just finds the wide open guy off the back foot. It's good to see Darius Joseph, the senior, getting back involved.
Adrian McDonald able to get up and slow him down just a bit. Wow, big time tackle by Tommy Mark, then Taylor doing the rest. Mark with one hand slowed down.
And Mark's really having a nice game, and so is Stephen Taylor, just making a ton of huge plays. You know, the coach talked about him this week at Stephen Taylor. He says he's just a ferocious, born, no-nonsense football player. He's always in the mix, loves the game, and obviously makes big plays out there.
Here comes pressure. Davis steps up. He cannot get away, and he will be thrown down by B.J. Singleton.
And Eamon, this is one of those plays that Chad Morris was talking about with Davis, sometimes just trying to do it all. And I get it, he's trying to make a play, but sometimes you make a bad situation worse. He scrambles and winds up losing more yards. Sometimes that play ain't there. Go forward, maybe get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. Instead, he takes a bigger loss.
3rd and 17 from the Houston 43. Trips to the right. Thomas, bottom your screen to the left. Line moved early in the backfield. This will make it 3rd and 22.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And that was Hyder again. He's the guy that's been pulling most of the time. It looks like he's just trying to get a little bit too much of a head start on pulling around that right side. For SMU, obviously, this being a 3rd and 22. Tough situation when you're not ahead of the game, ahead of the sticks.
Taylor coming and a whole bunch of other Cougars forcing the low throw.
And when they were trying to screenplay on that, the Trayvon Stewart, the safety 23, he's played a lot of football. I think he sniffed this one out, knew what they were going to. Got his nose to the football and helped stop that play. You can see the pressure. I think they really think at this stage of the game that they can bring some pressure on Davis and force him into bad decisions. They've done that here this quarter.
Kuntz on the punt. Ayers back to receive. Ayers says get away, and not a great kick. Out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. Looked like it went out at the 21.
Timeout.
They mark it out at the 25. So Greg Ward Jr. and an offense that's clicking back on the field in Houston when we return to TD ECU Stadium after this. Right now is they're up 35-21 with the ball. And Greg Ward Jr. and Kenneth Farrow and this offense in control right now after the defense took care of business with some turnovers late in the 2nd quarter. Danger time and then some for SMU right now. Right back to Farrow, running with authority. Gets out to about the 33.
One thing Major Applewhite talked about yesterday was the wide receivers and the importance of them blocking in the run game. Right there, Chance Allen does a good job just allowing Farrow to get an extra 4 or 5 yards. That's good stuff.
Gain of 9 sets up 2nd and short. Farrow gets it again, gets the 1st down.
And Eamon, this is where I think if you're Houston, you got the big back in Farrow. They're going to keep giving it to him because Chad Morris talked about the frontline players for SMU are pretty good, but they don't quite have the depth that they want. Here in the 3rd and 4th quarter, big running back in Farrow. You just got to think they're going to keep pounding him and keep wearing down this SMU front.
And also the offensive line a bit depleted. You don't want to jeopardize your quarterback dropping back to pass. Under 5.5 to play in the third. Ward drops it off to Farrell. Nice move, gets across midfield, inside the 40, brought down at the 33.
And that's one thing Amy and I talked about. This SMU defense during the course of the years played pretty well, but they give up the big play, the play where, you know, that somebody's not covering the right guy, and they leave Farrell wide open, and he picks up yardage. You just can't have those mental breakdowns, those breakdowns in coverage if you want to be a good defense.
28-yard pickup. Farrell stays out there. Ward off the play fake. Changes direction. He's going to run with it. Jonathan Yinga pushes him out of bounds, but not after he picks up first down. First down on a 12-yard gain. Not that often you're at an SMU game and you don't hear Jonathan Yinga's name until the third quarter.
That's true.
He's their leading tackler last week early in the first quarter for targeting, but they were happy to have him back on the field here tonight. Another bad exchange, but Webb has it. Cougar fans looking for and getting a late hit call as he was dragged out of bounds by Jesse Montgomery and thrown down. Cougars going for the knockout punch, and they pick up 13 and will tack on some after the play.
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Defense, number 6, after distance to the goal, first down.
And this is one thing Tom Herman talked about, that they're reading that mesh point for Ward. He wants him just to be a little bit better. That's the second or third time we've seen that, Eamon, where they just kind of hold on the ball a little bit too long. You got to be definitive when you're running that read option.
So they mark it at the 4. And this has been Farrow territory or Ward Jr. on the keeper so far tonight. This is Farrow. Mustangs ready for him on that one.
And you can see SMU's defense loading up. They know that Houston wants to pound that rock up the middle. I wonder if that's going to open up some opportunities on the outside to either Chance Allen or Stephen Dunbar.
Ayers wide open on the slot. Now SMU covers him. And now SMU jumps. Free play for the Cougars. Now they blow it dead. Could have been a touchdown.
Prior to the snap, offside, unabated to the quarterback, defense number 90, after distance to the goal, first down. Correction, second down.
I think Ward was trying to get this play off a la Aaron Rodgers, right? Knew he had a free play and tried to throw it up, but he was unabated to the quarterback.
So that moves it inside the 2. Chaz Allen's probably said just wipes out a touchdown catch. Now they're going to run it. Come on. He's saying to the stripes.
Here he goes in there tight. You wonder if he's going to try to get to the corner of the end zone here.
And Farrell say, I'll take it. But SMU able to deny him on that run. So that'll set up third.
This is what Tom Herman talking, these short yardage situations. They got to pound. They go quick.
Farrell has to bounce to the outside. Does he lunge for it? Yes, touchdown Cougars. The extra effort on the lunge. Another touchdown for Kenneth Farrell, his third tonight.
Third touchdown, and again, they go with the tempo. They don't bring in a jumbo package or none of that. Same personnel, hand to Farrell and let him do what he does.
Unfortunately for Houston, another hurt offensive lineman. They've lost 2 already. Now Cooper able to run off on his own power. But Zach Johnson and Josh Thomas have already limped off here tonight. So hopefully Alex Cooper will be able to return to action for Houston. But it's another touchdown on the ground for Tom Herman's Cougars. Been a busy night for Ty Cummings after winning the kicking job. perfect. So Houston now in complete control at home, looking to improve to 5-0.
Timeout.
Kenneth Farrow setting the tone for the Cougars. Week College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, is live from Salt Lake City, Utah for the huge Pac-12 showdown between Cal and the Utes. Reese, Kirk, Dez, Lee Corso, and the rest of the crew get you set for a full day of pigskin. It all starts Saturday at 9 Eastern on ESPN, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. That should be a great scene and obviously some great scenery from Salt Lake City for game day early in the morning out there in Utah. And Chad Morris has to go to Plan B now, getting doubled up by his in-state rival. This is short and returnable. West across the 20, gets out to the 25. So it's been ground and pound for the Cougars so far tonight, Rocky Boyman, and Kenneth Farrell's earning that ice bath.
Yeah, he's been a key part of all of it. He ran for 3. He's also been a key blocker on 3 of the rushing touchdowns. Look, again, this is what Tom Herman in this offense, what he really wants to do. Pound the rock up front, this smash mouth spread offense. And this is certainly what Farrow has done. Smash mouth with the spread, and then the blocks, too, have been key to Spring and Ward.
Last year, Kenneth Farrow had a big game against SMU with 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tonight, 3 touchdowns. Now they run it to the right. Nothing doing for Xavier Jones. No gain for the Mustangs on that one. And this has been a familiar story for SMU. Looked good early in the first half. And then you have trouble hanging around in the ball game.
Well, again, that comes down to a lot of depth and also being a young team. That's what Chad Morris said. This team just doesn't know how to fight through some adversity and how to fight to win late in the game at times.
Davis hooks up with Castile for a first down. Gain of 10. Brandon Wilson with the tackle.
This short week has been tough on both these teams, but Houston, Tom Herman put the pads on right after the victory last week. They have a big physical 2-hour practice. He wanted to be sharp coming here tonight. They were a little bit sluggish early, but I think they've certainly looked sharp most of the second half here.
First-year head coach asked about 100 other guys, how do you get ready for a Thursday game? And he said, I got 100 different answers. Davis gets outside. Taylor and then Roberts, no flag as he drives him to the ground out of bounds. I know, Rocky, I know you enjoyed the conversation about training camp when, he's talking about the acclimation process and some of the players were complaining about how tough it is. And he says, you think this is tough? Wait till we put on the pads.
Yeah, the first days of camp are always acclimation days. There's no pads, and he goes a really, hard rolling 2-3 hour practice. The players are a little bit like, man, this is going to be tough. He's like, tough? You ain't seen nothing yet. He said he thinks they ran the toughest training camp of any college football team. He really wanted to set that tone and build this culture around toughness here in Houston.
So they went full contact as much as the NCAA allowed, full pads as much as the NCAA allowed, double sessions as much as the NCAA allowed. Davis once again running for his life. And again, it's Stephen Taylor.
And who else? That guy's everywhere. He just makes big plays. It's just a knack a player has to be involved in big plays, and Stephen Taylor. Just a guy, as we say, he's ferocious, just a born and raised football player. Just has the instincts, gets off the block.
He is playing like a first-team all-conference player. Maybe more than that so far here in this season. Came in leading the conference with 5 sacks.
Look to bring pressure here again for Houston.
3rd and 12. Davis checking with line. Davis running for his life again, gets away from Bowser. Gets rid of it. Incomplete. Looking for Jeremiah Gaines.
And I think Houston figured out late in this, a little bit later into this game, that if you bring pressure on third down to Davis, again, what do we talk about? Sometimes he just holds on to that ball a little too long. And when you bring 6 rushers the way they did there, you create a lot of havoc back there.
Jackson Kuntz back out for another SMU punt. They're setting up shop near the Houston 30.
For the Mustangs.
Gets it off, good high kick, fair catch signal made by Ayers at the 28, looking for a flag. Refs aren't buying a 39-yard punt, no return. Now let's take a look at tonight's AT&T strong performance and Stephen Taylor getting it done on the defensive end.
Look, he's made big plays all night, but the first one was the strip of Davis. At that point, SMU was pretty much in control of this football game. He gets the big sack strip fumble, and then later on was able to pry the ball loose from Braden West. Just made big plays all day out there. And he's really been key for getting this Houston team back in this game. A little bit sluggish. He's been the lightning rod.
You follow that up with his performance from last week when he had 16 tackles, 3 sacks. Now Houston looking to continue to pound it on the ground with Jackson right up the middle. Right at the marker, that'll be a first down. 11-yard gain.
They'll move the change for another Cougar first down.
Under a minute to play in the quarter, dominated by the Cougars. And you hit the nail on the head there when you talked about Taylor's strip sack. Just completely changed this game.
Again, they're leading in time of possession yards. They got some momentum. They're believing in themselves. And one thing that'll shatter all belief is a big-time turnover, and Taylor delivered.
Back to Jackson. Gets out to the 43. Tackled by Kyron Mitchell. 3-yard gain.
Mitchell will stop for SMU.
And that'll do it for the third quarter.
Gain of 3, second down, 7.
So this game turned around late in the second, and it did not change in the third as Houston continued its domination. The defense has suffocated Matt Davis, and the Mustangs on defense have had no answers for this running game.
That's the end of the third quarter.
15 minutes of regulation left for Houston as they try to stay undefeated and improve to 5-0. We're back with the fourth quarter after this. On your smartphone, you're probably thinking Greg Ward Jr. in the offense, but really it was the defense that turned this one around for Houston.
Well, it really is. It's been Stephen Taylor. You know, I found through the course of my career, it's not enough just to do your job. Oh, coach, I graded out 100%. You got to make plays, and that's what Taylor's done. 6 tackles, 2 for loss, a sack, and 2 forced fumbles. That's having a night.
And it was complete domination by the Houston defense in that third quarter. As they put it on the ground with Jackson. In the first half, SMU gained over 300 yards. In the third quarter, the Mustangs were held to 45.
Jackson on the carry.
The turnovers at the end of the second quarter really changed this game around. To Dunbar on the slant at midfield. That'll move the chains. Six-yard pickup.
They're just keeping their foot on the gas here.
Five on the play clock. Ward asking for the snap now. Back to Jackson. Pushing the pile inside the 45. And obviously we talked about Tom Herman's success at Ohio State, where he learned under Urban Meyer. There are a few guys who can say they learned under Urban Meyer.
Yes, certainly. And they've all taken different bits and pieces from him. You see Steve Adazio, Charlie Strong. I got to see both those guys when I was at Notre Dame with Urban Meyer. Dan Mullen, by the way, he was like one of those guys that ran around and got coffee for everybody. A couple years later, he's one of the best head coaches in college football.
He didn't get you coffee.
Not me at all. No, not at all. I was like, yeah, who's this Dan Mullen guy? You know, what's he doing? They keep locking him in a room, letting him break down film for 20 hours a day. He learned a little bit during those times.
And you know, it's funny, you talk to Coach Herman and you read about him, he learns a lot more than just X's and O's and game planning from Urban Meyer. It's a whole program mindset.
What is, and again, that's what we talked about yesterday. It's the alignment of the staff and everyone being on the same page, same message. You said, look, sometimes you go in the wide receiver room and they got this quote on the wall, and then you go in the D-line group and they're preaching this. It's important to have everybody on a single message. And he said, look, when I'm up speaking in front of the team, there's 120 players. I'm not getting through to all of them, but it's important that each coach is able to deliver that same message to their guys.
Another injured Houston offensive lineman. So with the player down on the field, we'll step aside. Back to Houston after this. TD-ECU Stadium, as they are doubling up SMU right now here in the fourth quarter. American Athletic Conference action. Marcus Oliver had to be helped off the field, so the depth chart for this offensive line being tested here in the second half. Here's Webb right up the middle. Gets to the 35, spins across it.
And we saw Marcus Oliver there on the sideline. They already lost Zach Johnson early in the game. It looked like a knee or an ankle injury. So Houston's offense and the team's playing well, but they may be without a couple offensive linemen here moving forward.
They go on the road for the next two, at Tulane and then at Central Florida. Central Florida really one of the enigmas right now in the American Athletic Conference.
Really, they played well last year in the BCS Bowl a few years ago, and then I don't know, can't get together this year.
There's an establishment down there in Orlando that might go out of business if they don't turn things around. It's setting up to be an exciting year in the American, certainly in the American West. Going for that New Year's Day 6th bowl bid. Tom Herman wants to take a timeout here as the play clock was going to expire.
First charge timeout, Houston.
So there's a break in the action. We'll take one as well. All Cougars right now in the fourth quarter.
Inspired performance.
Perfect night for Thursday night football here in Houston, and things started out okay for Coach Morris's Ponies, but it's been all Cougars since late in the second quarter. Greg Ward in the offense facing a 3rd and 4 from the SMU 33. Off the timeout. Getting the play signals from the sideline. This is Webb, who has an alley right up the middle for the first down. As we mentioned, Houston undefeated so far in the American Athletic Conference West, and it's been a great start to the season for the American Athletic Conference. You know, Temple with the big opening win at home over Penn State. Navy's undefeated.
Memphis undefeated. Yeah, 4 undefeated teams here in this conference. Certainly is shaping up to be a great year.
You talk about that group of 5 bowl bid. You know, Toledo out of the MAC with the wins over Arkansas and against Iowa State at home as they go back to Webb. But there are opportunities out there for this conference.
No,
to grab it.
No, there certainly is. I mean, and it's also important here this year too. We got to remember this is the first year there'll be a conference championship for the American. After they add the extra team in Navy, they get to 12. Things are certainly panning out well for the American.
You got Navy against Notre Dame this Saturday. Memphis gets a crack at Ole Miss. Temple hosts Notre Dame on Halloween. Talk about establishment. You move that kickoff to nighttime, Rocky. Avoid Broad Street. Philadelphia will be hopping on Halloween. Jackson loses the ball. but Houston's going to hold on to it.
Ryan Jackson.
DeMarcus Ayers. Yeah, oh, yeah, excuse me. Marcus Ayers was on the spot with that.
Now Kenneth Farrow back out there.
Third and short for the Cougars.
Webb just trying to make a few things happen here. Good job by the SMU defender putting his helmet on the football. You know, for SMU, it's kind of the same thing last week. They get out to a 23-7 lead. Things are looking good. And then ECU scores 42 unanswered points. Same thing tonight. They're ahead by 7. Things are looking good. And then allow Houston to get back in and just pile it on.
Ward runs into Farrow. Lawler does almost a good job of containing him. What a move by Greg Ward Jr. You see a little bit of frustration setting in there for Justin Lawler. He made a tremendous play, and then he got juked.
I was going to say, he made a great play with it, but, I mean, how do you stop that? That was just a jump cut move there by Ward. Lawler had strung the play out. Man, that guy is something special with his feet.
He is fun to watch.
First and 10 from the 11.
14th play of the drive. Under 9 to play in regulation. Ward holds on to it. Another shake and bake. Gets inside the 10.
You got to remember, Ward was a wide receiver most of his career. Halfway through last season, he's in the wide receiver room. Toward the end, they put him at the quarterback position. He really hasn't looked back since.
This time last year, he was a wide receiver and punt returner.
Yeah. And again, he's becoming a better quarterback. Again, knowing the reads, it's not just being an athlete. He certainly has that covered. It's now getting the reads right, completing the throws. He's done a nice job.
Looking to throw again to McCloskey. Gets hammered out of bounds.
Tyler McCloskey on reception.
At the 2, it looks like they're going to mark it.
Darian Richardson on the side.
Darian Richardson with the tackle.
It really helps Ward when he has this running game clicking the way it is, pushing people around, create some balance, take the pressure off him to just do everything. And Farrow certainly helped him out tonight.
3rd and 1. Ward on the rollout. Fights his way through for a seam and into the end zone once again. So a patient run by Greg Ward Jr. And it's another touchdown for number 1.
And Eamon, you said it, just a nice job of patience. He's really good when he gets around the end zone. He knows when to kick it into high gear, knows when to hang behind those blockers. Then he sees it and then puts that foot in the ground and excels forward for the touchdown.
$71 yards in 16 plays. They chew up 8 minutes and 38 seconds off the clock. And it's a good night to be a Cougar in Houston.
Yeah, you know, again, they come in here a short week and looked a little bit on their heels. SMU put up a nice fight, but then the turnovers really got this defense and the crowd into the flow of this game, and they didn't turn back.
All Houston right now. Greg Ward Jr. and company lead by 28. Take on a Hurricane team looking to snap a 5-game losing streak to their rivals in Tallahassee. Miami and number 12 Florida State Saturday night, 8 Eastern on ABC. Everett Golson doing a good job protecting the ball for Florida State this year.
When you said that's what he didn't do at Notre Dame, what, 22 turnovers?
It's a year ago.
I know, I'm trying. Hey, I'm happy for him, man. He's had a pretty tough career. In multiple ways. He goes down to Florida State. He's doing a nice job down there.
Speaking of turnovers, that was the difference here tonight. And Houston goes for the short kick. Gaines makes the grab and then goes out of bounds. And the College Football Playoff Foundation is proud to renew for 2015 its Extra Yard for Teachers initiative, created to honor, celebrate, inspire, and empower teachers and communities all across the country. In partnership with ESPN, the initiative helps teachers acquire tools and resources to be even more successful in their classrooms. To learn how to get involved and make a difference for teachers and their students, go to collegefootballplayoff.com. You know, we saw Chad Morris there, certainly with all those years as a high school football coach. He knows all about teaching and balancing both, and you know, he's going to have to do a whole lot of teaching in his first year here at SMU.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about this game we talked earlier, how important this matchup was in terms of recruiting, right? Everyone's fighting over all those talented players down here in Texas, and I think Houston's going to come out and show, hey, if you're a young athlete out there, come here to Houston. We're building something special.
Some great metaphors about recruiting in this state, right? $10 of gas in a tank and swinging a dead cat by the tail.
That's the best. You swing a dead cat and you hit 10 D1 players in high school here. I love that one.
That's from the legendary Bill Yeoman that Tom Herman repeated to us. The only problem is that everyone else in America knows about him too. So they're all coming here. You got to protect that fence. You always put the fence up over the city of Houston, put the fence up over the city of Dallas, you'll be fine.
And that's one of the things, you know, why a Tom Herman takes a job down here or Chad Morris takes this job, because of the talent is surrounding them down here. It's hard to miss.
And you know, Rocky, is a nice run there by Braden West. I think that's a fascinating dynamic about the coaching profession. Here's two up-and-coming coordinators that everyone who follows college football heard about and knew about. You knew they were going to get their opportunities. It's all about taking that right one, that right fit. Am I going to be, is that a place I can win and succeed?
What's the thing? You don't want to get antsy and just take any job. You want to make sure you're set up for success. And I think you look at either one of these coaches, Tom Herman and Chad Morris, you got two programs that have at least a history of success in one way or another. You got a commitment by the staff here that they're into recruiting. They're going to give the facilities and all those things you need to have a good program. And again, just from their perspective here, the talent that surrounds them here. You look, we did Iowa State Toledo early in the year, and Iowa State Paul Rhodes, they got great facilities and all, but it's hard to get kids there. There's only a handful of high school football players that come out of the state of Iowa. You come down here to Texas and they're all over the place. It's hard when that recruiting base and that talent isn't right around your school.
Braden West with the grab in the flat.
Braden West, interception.
Of course, it also helps if you take over a program that has Greg Ward Jr. as the incumbent at quarterback.
Well, and that's a good point, because you also want to guarantee a little bit of early success. And both these coaches, you know, Chad Morris says, okay, they got this Matt Davis guy. He's pretty good. And certainly Greg Ward Jr., Tom Herman said, okay, I can work with this. We got a powerful running back. We got a dual threat quarterback, just like when I was at Ohio State. We can build from here.
Yeah, at Ohio State, he had 3 of them. Davis. Nice move. Gets the first down, breaks one tackle, gets away from Roberts, spins for another, few more yards. But, you know, Chad Morris told us at SMU, he knew what it was going to take. He says, I am here to build it. You have to embrace the process.
Well, yes, and you talk about, getting people to buy in, getting these kids to buy into SMU football and everything that means to be a part of that. And I think the kids have responded well. And look, they're a young team. They're going to keep building their depth as he gets out recruiting. I think he's doing a good job of building something special here at SMU.
18-yard pickup by Davis. Down to the 11. Trips to the right. Davis throws it through the uprights.
Davis throws it out of the end zone.
When you talk about, you know, Tom Herman, why did he take this Houston job? You know, he has experience down here throughout the course of his career. He's been at Texas Lutheran, Texas State, Rice, so he kind of knows this area. He's developed those relationships as well. So I think if you add in all those factors, it made a lot of sense for him to come here. And my God, he's done a great job so far.
Now Jones in the backfield with Davis. On 2nd and 10 with just over 4.5 to play. Pressure again and again. It's Taylor.
Who else? And you know, if you're going to leave a guy unblocked, Damon, you might not want to leave number 41 unblocked off the offensive left side. You see him come off the left side of your screen, just free right to the quarterback. Again, they ran some sort of pressure on there, and that's the guy you want to block.
Loss of 14. He continues to add to his huge junior year. 3rd and 24. Houston bringing the heat again. And Davis spinning for his life again. Gets rid of it into the end zone. Touchdown SMU. What an adjustment by Joseph. Davis keeps it alive, and then Joseph makes the grab, 25 yards.
I'll tell you what, if George Whitfield were here, he would say Matt Davis did everything wrong you want a quarterback to do. Held on the ball too long, threw late, across his body, off his back foot, all that. But look, he made things happen out there, stayed alive, and was able to pick up the wide receiver late. Scramble around, just create and throw across the body. Wow.
Joseph coming in with 168 career receptions. A couple of years ago, he had 103. Some asking, where's 18? How come they're not getting the ball? But Davis found him there. And that stops the Cougar run.
It's good. 3:35 left in tonight's game.
Timeout.
They go 60 yards in 9 plays, and Davis did a tremendous job to keep it alive and finding Joseph. Going in the ACC on Saturday Night Football, presented by Wells Fargo. It's the 12th ranked undefeated Seminoles take on a Miami team looking to snap a 5-game losing streak to their rivals in Tallahassee. Miami against number 12 Florida State, Saturday 8 Eastern on ABC. I wonder if the price for a prop plane in the Tallahassee area has increased this week with maybe some of the Hurricane fans in town, because you know, it might be too late for a defining moment, but if Al Golden ever wanted a defining moment, coming up with somehow to win one on the road would certainly be helpful.
Well, you said it. He's the guy that, you know, they say is coaching week to week for his job. As you said, you know, the airplane, they got with the fire Al Golden sign.
Onside kick's not going to go 10 yards. That is not how they draw it up. Michael Armstrong. I don't know why the Cougars will go anywhere near it. Not what Armstrong was looking for there off the tee.
The kick did not travel 10 yards. It will be Houston's possession at the dead ball spot. First down.
Chad Moore is saying, look, give us a chance on this play. Got to at least get the kick and give the cover guys a chance to maybe get on the football.
So it appears that it looked like Greg Ward Jr.'s night would be done, but he's going back out there. Kyle Postman, number 3, was all set to go out there and get some reps.
Can't imagine with 2 offensive linemen down, they're going to do much dropping back and putting him at risk. I mean, a lot of handoffs.
Khalid Kukuma with the carry. Redshirt freshman out of League City, Texas. Picks up 3. Again, Chad Morris has all 3 timeouts left, but down by 21. Looks like he's living a go back to Dallas. You can understand why, down by 3 touchdowns. And Houston more than willing to keep it on the ground. So to continue that discussion of what's at stake this year for the American Athletic Conference.
Timeout. SMU. Their first charge timeout. It will be a 30-second timeout.
But the New Year's 6 in the college football playoff has that group of 5 tie-in. Toledo with the win at Arkansas, followed up by a win at home over Iowa State out of the Big 12, would appear to have the inside track now. But as we were discussing, the door is open for an American Athletic Conference team to break through. And it's really not just that one team. It's the body of work by the conference elevating all the metrics.
Well, absolutely. And that's what's important, Aim, is you can't just have a conference with two teams that are good and everyone else not playing well. A lot of teams in the American are playing well, as we talked about, 4 undefeated teams. If one of those teams can maybe find themselves undefeated at the end of the season, maybe they have a shot.
You point to Temple wins over Penn State, Cincinnati wins over Miami. Certainly this does not appear to be vintage years for the Nittany Lions or the Hurricanes. But, when you take a look at those other conferences, the MACs of the world, does the whole resume match up? If you're
Timeout. SMU.
SMU now takes its second timeout. If you're an American Athletic Conference guy, you're saying, hey, we're in that power. We're a power conference when you look at it top to bottom.
Absolutely, and especially you get an undefeated team. I mean, Houston is rolling right now. They're going to go to 5-0. Next week at Tulane, then at Central Florida. They got Vanderbilt coming up, a big game, then back-to-back Cincinnati and Memphis. So they're certainly making their case.
Well, we're going to find out about this Houston Cougar team and the American Athletic Conference as a whole in November. Cincinnati, Memphis, Navy, all here in Houston.
Bang, bang. That's a tough way to end the season.
Coming up next on ESPN2 following our action, Sports Center. John Buccigross and Jay Harris take you through the day's events. They'll have all the latest on the Major League Baseball playoffs and the NFL. I don't know, would people in Houston be interested in the playoffs and the NFL on this Thursday night? Isn't it all about the Cougars?
I thought the whole world was watching this one.
So SMU should get the ball back here with now Piper. We'll go rugby style. And it trickles into the end zone for a touchback. 33-yard punt, no return.
And right now the Texans are down 7 to the Colts with just under 2 minutes to play.
It was nice of you not to bring your former Colt jersey with you on the trip.
Yeah,
With it.
I don't think it would have went over well down here.
Astros surprising the Royals, keeping the mojo going for now after shutting out the Yankees in Yankee Stadium.
I gotta admit, I'm still getting used to the Astros being in the American League. It goes against my youth where I used to watch them and Nolan Ryan in the NL.
Getting used to Maryland and Rutgers in the Big Ten.
There you go.
And again, another sack. Again, Stephen Taylor.
Block that guy.
Someone has an inside track on American Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Week.
This guy's making a case for the Butkus Award. My God, they stack the linebackers. No one picks him up, and he comes scot-free for another sack. He has just been ferocious out there. He's been on the spot. It's not just the free blitzes. He's been ripping balls out of the hands of guys. Tremendous playmaker.
Davis hit again. Finally goes down. Bowser in on the play. Taylor, of course, there with some penetration. 5th Houston sack of the night.
I'll tell you what, Taylor's been so impressive tonight. You just see a natural athlete out there. There's nothing, that's forced with him out there at all. Just a playmaker. And you got to think, even though he's a little light, 6'1", 225, you got to think at some point, I know he's just a junior, he's a guy that has an NFL future making plays the way he does.
3rd and 26. Taylor coming right up the middle. Davis incomplete to Gaines, who after a huge game a week ago was quiet tonight. Well, SMU came in with 21 sacks allowed, so you knew these Cougars on defense were sensing it and were attacking.
Well, that's the thing, Eamon. You smell the blood in the water. When a team's giving up sacks, the defense is not going to come in and just lay back all night. They're going to, again, sense that blood and go after the quarterback. A little bit early, they weren't able to get much hay out of it, but later on, they finally figured it out.
So Tom Herman will remain perfect as a head coach in college football. He and Jim McElwain off to perfect starts. Making this coaching thing look easy. Another shaky punt from Kuntz. So with 59 seconds left, the Cougars will take over in SMU territory. The Ponies can only stop the clock once. So Rocky, what impressed you the most about this Cougar attack?
Well, I mean, first of all, defensively, just how they were able to kind of take some early blows from SMU. I thought SMU offensively did a great job of balance, but just the big plays and obviously the turnovers. You can be a team, yes, you got to put up yards and do all that, but if you can get turnovers, get the ball back to your offense, especially when you have a guy in Greg Ward Jr. and Farrow and all these weapons around, get the ball back to them, you're going to do well. And now Houston's off to that 5-0 start.
Now we got to look at Kyle Postma. He'll get in the victory formation and take a knee. And the clock continues to run. Houston will get at Tulane next, then Central Florida. For SMU, they turn their attention to South Florida on the road. But Houston's going to remain undefeated under Tom Herman. And these two young coaches with promising futures who know each other very well will meet at midfield. 15 seconds left. But the Cougars turn this game around thanks to the defense and dominate the second half.
Look at it again, the turnovers. You can just see the talent on this team that they got here in Houston. And again, I think they bring a lot of confidence in here to the next half of the season.
So our final score from Houston, the Cougars 49, the Mustangs 28. Coming up next on ESPN2, it's Sports Center with John Bucci-Gross and Jay Harris. For Rocky Boyman and our entire crew, I'm Eamon McEnany saying thanks for watching and so long from Houston.